very good evening to our viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Evening Review Show. I'm your host, Matthias Aufiko. Well, government earlier this week handed over 8,000 hectares of communal land to the Khomanin Traditional Authority. Of course, it's been a topical issue over the years as far as the communal land within the Khomas region is concerned. I mean, government was of the position that there is no space for communal land in the Khomas region, but a cabinet decision has then made it possible for farmland within the region to be converted into communal land and then subsequently handed over to the Khomanin community. We have in studio tonight land activist Shaun Gariseb. Good evening, welcome to the show. No stranger to the Evening Review.
Yeah, good evening, Matthias. Thank you for having me.
It's always good to have you here. Well, this is a fight that's been on your table, you and others, for many years. This week we've seen some movement, and some see it as a milestone, some see it as a smokescreen. Mixed views over the recent development as far as the handing over of this land is concerned. What is your take on all of this?
Yeah, thank you once more. Most actually see it as a smokescreen because first and foremost, as you rightly say, 8,000 hectares of communal land that is handed over by government. You'd like to, you know, the other day I was saying you don't want to be skeptical of everything that is being done, but things must be done correctly. If you are correcting things and if there is restorative justice, it must be honest and it must be correct. Also, it's very important to note that this land is not in Khomas region. The most important thing is to avail land in Khomas region. That is not the case. This land is outside the Khomas region. If you go from, if you just pass the roadblock, there is a gravel road that turns in.
Which roadblock is that?
The Omaheke roadblock between Windhoek, Caps Farm. Yeah, Caps Farm is the roadblock. When you drive, because when we went there uninvited, we went there. When you drive on that gravel road, 170 kilometers, that the sand changes from Khomas sand to Khomanin sand, which means Khomas sand is having it's uniquely stony and hard, and that other one is red and different. So you can literally see the difference in where you are in terms of area. Yeah. So in that, I mean, most of the community members feel that this is a smoke screen.
But there are those who say that, look, the community has for years cried for land, and now that the land is there, it seems the goalposts are being shifted now.
No. Those people they clearly do not understand. First and foremost, the community is not supposed to cry for land. The community is supposed to demand for land. The land is ours. There's no doubt about us. The land in Khomas region is available. There's this thing there's this notion that we've been begging for land. That thing does not sit well with me, does not sit well with most of the Khomanin people, especially those who have been understanding this issue for over the years. You must remember, young people like us. Myself, I'm a Khomanin child. We originate from Kupis and Nawasport area. So myself, I know this fight. We found our people fighting this fight. We grew up into this. While we were in varsity, we didn't understand these things. Today we understand and we are at the forefront of this. So this thing of saying we were crying and this is land. This is something we must celebrate as if it's a 100-year milestone. We are talking about 8,000 hectares. Khomas, in essence, has 3.7 million hectares of land. Most of that is in the hands of specific people. Then why don't we look at it that way? So that is the bone of contention here.
But over the years, and I'm sure before government reached the point where they say, okay, we are going to purchase this land, a specific land for this community, surely there has been consultations between the Khomanin community and the leadership of the Khomanin and government. Surely they would have been in the know about government's plan to purchase this specific area that you now say is not in the jurisdiction of the Khomanin community.
Yeah, the talk of this 8,000 hectares is something that has been coming on for maybe 5 years. We've known the talks were reignited again when we were at the Delimitations Commission, when we went to disturb that meeting in saying that what you are doing here is systematic displacement. Because our argument is that when you are displacing us from our original jurisdiction, which is Khomas, you are putting us now further and further and further into other areas, other jurisdictions where they, mind you, there are also traditional authorities. There is Khomanin Traditional Authority, that side of Nosop. So what then later will happen is exactly what happened in 1959. In 1959, when people were dispossessed and displaced, they were sent to Sorisoris in Kunene region. Kunene region, what then later happened was those people in Kunene region who also have their problems, they now start deciding and saying, but you people, to start with, you are also you are from Thomas, so you must go back to your land and go and do your things there. That's how people came back. So this is just a repeat of what is happening. You are displacing people systematically, making them believe that you are creating land. And you must remember, we are saying that there is a difference between communal land and ancestral land. We have a connection with our ancestral land. Even the Khombani people have a connection with that land that we are. I've been at the forefront, or I've been advocating for generational farm workers by way of writing and so forth for the past 8 years. And I know, even when there was this, what is this thing? Second land conference, there were presentations before. Yeah. Most of the people who were making those presentations are generational farm workers that are evicted from those farms where this communal land is created, or Chisauna and those kinds of farms. Those people are many of them are there in Katutura. I know even of some of them which we used to go and visit there from our other side of the family. Those people are evicted from those farms, and they are today sitting there in Katutura. Those people, what if those people go and demand from their Khomanin Traditional Authority to be also given land, since the land is available? So we are looking at it from that. And you must remember what we are saying is, and in the petitions over the years to government, those petitions were such that they were saying, there is land, there are farmers in Thomas region sitting on 5 farms. Why can't government just buy 2 farms from those farmers? Why can't government knock on the door? We have asked, who is giving these people waivers? Who is giving these people dispensation to circumvent around laws? How are they allowed to change these things just like that into PTYs and into small holdings and then selling them as such? Why can't these people be told, look, we are sitting with the problem of too many people sitting in pockets of communities. Let us look at buying these farms. That is what we are telling them. And it's not as if the people are not selling, they are selling. So we are saying, buy from these people and then make this, because you know what, Matthias, if you go and put people on 8,000 hectares, you create a location. Yeah. And when you create a location, there's no productivity. And we don't want that. We are saying buy as much as possible so that people who are on the, because people are in all 4 corners of Thomas region, let them be productive. Yeah. Let those, otherwise tomorrow you will say, you expect thousands of people to sit on these 8,000 hectares and then you expect people to be productive. It will never happen. That land will go to waste. You must be strategic and you must be honest. So this decision and this news is actually nothing to us. We are concentrating on those things that we have petitioned government, and we are going to keep on pushing them on that. Yeah.
When you say the land is not enough and what you'll simply be doing is create a location, can you maybe just delve deeper into that? What do you mean? Someone will be asking, what's wrong with creating a location? At least people have a place to call home.
Look, Khombani people are, you see, when we are saying Khombani, we don't want people to go to rural Thomas, where we want to practice our customs. We want to farm. We want agricultural activity to take place there. But if you prop us into, for example, at Bomgatsbrom, the people are propped into a 500 hectare, which they're saying is 300 hectare. The way the people are propped into Dordapis, the way the people are at Versailles is also a similar communal landish that was created. What then happens is it becomes impossible even for you to stay there with your because we are predominantly subsistence farmers, to come there with your 10 goats or your 15 goats and your 20 goats. When you have so much, when I have so much, when the next person has so much, so if we have 50 people who have so much, then the grass, the sand will just naturally die. You see, the capacity is just not enough. So I'm saying, then later you will have people who are just living without any productivity. That is the location. Because then people are just living as if they are here in Akstelan or here in Korea Khabdam. Let people be productive. Let us create the land and let us empower people and help people to be productive. The way the same Khombani people were productive as Ongombo West, the way they were, you saw how they were exporting flowers. This is how we know Khombani people. That's what we want people to be, not people to be put there on small hectares of land and then they just later it becomes a problem. No.
Yeah. So if as far as this land is concerned. The group has submitted a petition in which several claims and also a lot of requests have been made as far as this ancestral land issue is concerned. What is the way forward, and what response did you get so far?
Look, unfortunately, we did not get any response thus far. Where the office of the minister, the office of the presidency had given us 7 days. And then the same ministry, the land, because the land ministry was supposed to come back in 3 days to the office of the presidency, and then in 7 days. But what happened was the elections took place, and there was a situation with the elections where things were withheld and so forth. So while we are waiting for that, and while we are planning to write a courtesy letter, we just got from our intelligence that there's a secretive handover happening. You see, that is the problem. In our petition, we also asked for clarity around these two, or this farm, because it's just one farm that is just demarcated in 3,000 hectares and 4,000 hectares. So it's just one farm, this 8,000 hectares. So we were saying, give us clarity, because there's nothing is forthcoming even from the traditional authority. We have our reservations about the transparency from the traditional authority, and we have put that already to them, that we are not happy with certain things you do. The community is not happy how you do things. Be transparent, be honest, let us know what's happening. This did not happen. What we did, we went there uninvited, and what do we find? We only found the traditional authority, the ministry, and specific journalists that are invited. Some of the journalists that were there are also not journalists that were covering our demonstrations and so forth. So we were also just wondering what is going on here. But the people that we went to sit, we found the table and we sat and we were listening. So luckily we listened and we heard. Now, what we heard about the farm is fine. We heard what is there. It was even a ceremonial handover, because there must still be a certificate of issued, and there must also be an inventory list issued. What is happening here, unfortunately, Matthias, that I have to put it, is that it is just the minister who is the outgoing minister who is trying to score cheap points. The minister knows he's not going to be here beyond March, so the minister, because the minister was part of the very first demonstration in '92, he was the minister, he was the permanent secretary in the same ministry while these people were fighting. 34 years after, and the minister wants us to celebrate this. This is a shame. The minister should be ashamed of himself for imposing this to be celebrated, because he's dealing with a very weak traditional authority who is begging and who is making it seem as if they are done a favor. This is not a favor. This is something that is supposed to be done long time ago. And if at least you were talking about 80,000 hectares, you are talking about something. Government resolved to get around 5 million hectares of land by 2030. And you want to tell me 34 years to give 8,000 hectares? That is laughable. So how can you celebrate that? That's why you go there, you don't invite the most important stakeholder, which is the community. No community member was there. As we were looked at as activists, they did not even acknowledge our presence there, because they think we are troublemakers. But we went to listen for the community so that we can be able to give them feedback. Because when these kinds of things are done secretively like they are, we even have now the traditional authority saying things different from what we had there. In terms of how the allocation of these farms and things are going to be. So these are the things. But the way forward, as we are saying, is that we are going to follow up with the same minister. We're also going to ask him why he left out the most important stakeholders, why things are done in that way. And we are going to remind him that we are not happy with how he's making this seem as if it's a big achievement. This is not an achievement at all. This is systematic displacement, and it's a continuation of what was done in 1959. We do believe that the minister is protecting those farmers that are in Thomas region, because they are farmers that are well known. The issue is there. We put it to him. These farmers are destroying graves. These farmers are threatening people. They are threatening the lives of people. These are things we put on his table. Why is he not addressing that? And he is on record saying in that handover, he was saying, he was asking those farmers that are next to that farm to avail their land. Why can't he ask the farmers in Thomas region to avail their land? So that just shows you how these things are done. So we want to put it to him clearly that we are disappointed in how he has gone about this. He has not consulted. He's not even acknowledged our petition or written back to us. So before he goes, we'll even write him a letter, a goodbye letter, and we'll remind him how unhappy we are. And the community is unhappy. Don't be fooled by what you see, because the community is never informed. They are never consulted. There is no meeting from the traditional authority. They just go and accept and make it seem as if this is good. This is not good. That place is very small.
Yeah. Before we go for a break, and after the break, I want us to touch on the issue of representative leadership, because government can also argue to say, look, we cannot speak to all community members.
Yes.
Community has a traditional authority that leads the affairs of that community. But before we go for that break, I would like to hear from you. Why do you think government would want to have a secret handover? What would they gain from that?
That is the problem we have. That's what we don't understand. Why do you call it a historical moment and you don't have the community, the people that you are handing over the land to involved in that? All you could have done is, because you had hundreds of bakkies there where you even drove in journalists. Why couldn't you just bring at least 20 people, even the people who are playing music? Now you have live DJ there. Live DJ for Khomanin. There are people who are known artists that you could have brought there that play kaingas and those different kinds of traditional instruments to come and make the event what it is. You see, if you put the event as an historical event, the community must be involved. Why was it secret? Why did government not let the people know? And that's because they know that the people are not happy.
Yeah. Well, we head for a short break and we'll continue with this very interesting conversation. See you on the other side.
Santa has a festive surprise for you. Starting 2nd December, unwrap the magic of Christmas with our Advent calendar. Spot the Christmas globes in your favorite newspapers from Monday to Friday. Scan the QR code or WhatsApp hashtag Advent Calendar 24 to the Synergy chatbot. Find the Christmas globes on NTV. Or visit our Facebook pages for daily Advent doors from Monday to Saturday. Win daily prizes. Lucky winners will be contacted and Logistics Hub Namibia will deliver your prize. Merry Christmas from Santa and his proud prize sponsors.
Well, welcome back from the break. Mr. Gariseb, you spoke of government and the traditional authority seemingly taking matters into their own hands. Yeah. So who should government consult in this thing? Must government go door to door and speak to everyone? Clearly, that's not possible.
No, look, it's true what you earlier alluded that government must speak to a recognized leadership and authority, which is the traditional authority. We do recognize the traditional authority. What we are saying is not that they should not speak to the traditional authority. We're just saying there must be transparency in terms of, because it's for the past 5 years, we did not know anything about how these farms are going to be allocated, or not how they are going to be allocated, anything about the farms. Everything was just kept quiet. So the community is of the view that things are not transparent and we do not know. How can you call it a historical event? Because it is an historical event that communal land is created. It's just, the only problem here is just that communal land is not on our ancestral land. That is the only problem. The efforts are appreciated. That I must say. The efforts by government are appreciated. It's just that in the street they say it is a sandisa. That is a sandisa. It's like you do something and make it seem as if you are solving the problem, but in actual fact, you are deceiving. That is what it is. So we are saying these sandisas are like this because the government knows the kind of leadership they are dealing with, and they are able to I don't want to say undermine. They are able to get their way with the leadership. But if you have the community, because the community must say, okay, the leadership did this for us. What is it that do we agree with what they did or do? And you must know this issue of commerce is a unique issue. It's different from other traditional authorities. Yeah. Other traditional authorities, for example, one traditional authority presides over 3 constituencies. Here, it's a difficult story. In fact, Thomas Traditional Authority is not even getting any royalty from things like the airport. We are supposed to get royalty from the airport. I'm supposed to have those. As an activist, I'm supposed to be fighting those fights. Not a fight with government and then a fight again here because I'm fighting the government with my traditional authority. I'm supposed to be fighting Hosia Kutako, airport management, as to why you are not giving our traditional authority royalties like it happens in other areas. Yeah. You see? So what we are saying is they must speak to the right authority, but we must also be consulted. We must also be informed. We must be informed because we are the things are gotten in our name as a community. Yeah. So how can the community be left in the dark? That's all we are saying.
Yeah. But if I'm government, I'll argue that, look, your traditional leadership is the umbilical cord between the community and government. So how is it then government's problem that this traditional authority, as you claim, is not consulting the community?
Yeah, look,
Shouldn't you then take your traditional leadership to task?
that's what we are doing. We are taking our traditional leadership to task, and we put it to government that we have our reservations about how these people do these things. So bear that in mind when you are doing certain things. But because people, even before that, when we went to hand over these things, there were people which I saw at that handover that were acting as if they are in favor of the community, but the way they are laughing and eating nice food there with the traditional authority, you could understand, oh, this is what is happening. And these people have been together for over 10, 15 years. So you just understand why things are being done at a slow pace. You must remember, if I sit at the table, if you sit at the table with the government and government knows you are compromised, you will not get what you want.
Yeah.
You will get what they want. That is what's happening here. There's no more secret about the fact that we are taking our traditional authority to task.
Yeah.
Just a week ago we demanded certain information from them and they are refusing to bring that. So those are there's no we are going to do things correctly in this country and also in our community, so that we can also sister communities can also see and do things that, because at the end of the day the generations that are coming are going to suffer when we don't do this. And we already are blaming people who were before us that why didn't you do, why did you allow this, why is it what it is. So we cannot allow this anymore.
So, the Khomanin Traditional Authority, in which way are they compromised, if at all?
First and foremost, why would they stand up and allow an event of that magnitude, the creation of communal land, in first time after independence, to be done without the community? Why would you do that? Which right-thinking leadership is going to allow that? You could have said, let's at least allow 10 members of the community to be part of that. What are you hiding? Why can't you say we want these people to be part, so that they can take pictures, go back to Nawa Sport, go back to outing us, those farms, those different, and go and show this is how it looks. It's a beautiful farm. Again, I must admit, it's a beautiful farm, so that they can see, so that people can maybe see and say that, okay, there is positivity. Now we have a situation where we have a situation where the traditional authority, there are voice notes coming out of the traditional authority where those princesses are insulting elders in the community. How can we accept such things? Those are the things that are as if the farm belongs to them only. This is what is happening because that is being allowed. When government sort of speaks to them alone, they start misunderstanding to what extent they have authority over the community. So to avoid those things, we demand transparency, and we want government to be open so that you can avoid these kinds of things. Because these things are going to have, like now there's a serious, people are very, very angry in our community. And it looks like I'm an instigator because I'm the one that is being insulted for demanding accountability in one voice note, and in another voice note is the community and the elders that are being insulted to the extent that we had to go and make police cases. And now they want us to keep quiet about those. We are not going to keep quiet about those. We are going to take them to task for that and for other things.
Yeah. What do you make of claims from some members of the Khomanin Traditional Authority saying that you are just a loose cannon looking for trouble, and you have no jurisdiction or any authority to speak on matters of the Khomanin people? There is a leadership put in place for that.
Yeah, you see, whenever you as an activist, I've seen that whenever you demand for justice, whenever you want things to be done correctly, people will say that. People do say that. People start saying you are a loose cannon. But these same people are the ones who were working with me just a month or two ago after they saw what we did at the delimitations. They are the ones who we were working with them hand in hand. And while working with them hand in hand, we brought a situation where we say, there is a situation at Bomkatsbrom. At this situation, there is a farmer that is suppressing these people. This farmer is threatening these people, and this farmer is sitting on a lot of land. Let us collectively ask the minister so that he can ask this farmer to stop, and so that he can ask this farmer to sell certain land to these people, to government. There's provision for expropriation. That's legal. It's not like you are taking the farm from him, because he's having 5 farms just in Khomas. So we are saying he's anyway selling the land. So we were saying, let's do this. What does the traditional authority do? They go behind our back and tell the farmer that we must not deal with these people, we are troublemakers, just as you are saying. Then we ask, but why are you telling us into our face that we are together, and then you are changing tone? That's not correct, because we are with the community. And then in the same vein, you want to stand up and have a festival. Then the community decided they are not going to go to any festival because they can't celebrate while they are landless and while they are in trouble. So now you say it's us who have instigated the community. The community is awake. People are awake. We are not in 1993 anymore. We are in 2024. We are going into 25. People are awake, and people want to live People need land to live, and people need to be empowered. People want to be inspired. People want to go forward. We can't keep people in those same tactics of years gone by. It's unfair, and it's also painful to see your own people just suffering. People are calling our people names in this window. When you see, I was telling these people that they are threatening me. Then I was saying that these people who you are going to call to threaten me with, those are the same people I was crying at to say that when you are going to the north, I don't have a place to go because we are displaced. We are displaced. How long must we be displaced? Until 2030, when my daughter is grown up, then my daughter must wonder, this topic, he did not fight for anything in his time. Do you want that to be the case? No, we don't allow that.
Yeah. Just as we wrap up, what is your message to those who say Shaun Gariseb has no authority to speak on behalf of the Khomanin community?
My friend, I was born a Khomani, I will die a Khomani. There's no story of authority. And plus, you see, if those are people, then it must be community members. You can go into the communities of Khomani people in Windhoek. These people are actually the ones who are asking me, thanking me to stand up for them for a long time. I must actually say I failed the people for a long time because I'm supposed to be fighting this kind of fight long time ago. You see, so that thing of authority does not see those people who are saying that are beneficiaries of this unfair practice. They are beneficiaries of the traditional authority and their shenanigans. They are beneficiaries of how things are. What I want is, and what we want as a collective and as activists is, we want collective progress. We want things to change for the Khomani people collectively and honestly. We are not demanding unfair things. We just want the rights of the indigenous people to be respected, and we just want ancestral land to be, the ancestral value of the Khomani people to be respected.
Well, Shaun, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the festive season.
Likewise.
Thank you very much. Well, to our viewers, that's it from the Evening Review team. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a pleasant evening.